reminding ourselves to relax. Excuse me. Because I can say for myself, when we are so caught up in going full throttle, which is not a problem, we don't take the time to really sit and think about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and if we don't do that, the Lord will do it for us. So maybe it look like getting sick, maybe losing a job, something along the lines of that. And if we don't take the time to do that, he'll stop us. And he's such a good and gracious God, doesn't let us go down the wrong path without at least acknowledging it, us acknowledging and being aware of what we're doing. So glory be to him. But I also want to say that it's nothing wrong with resting. You're not lazy for wanting to rest. Your body needs it. Our body is also meant to be treated with love and care. And yes, we're supposed to be completely submitted to the Lord, but we also have to rest. The seventh day he rested. So, Sabbath day. So, if you're having trouble resting, take that day and really, take it to rest and rejuvenate, recover, and really just relax completely. It's not necessarily easy, especially if you have a family and things are demanding, but do your best to plan accordingly and steadfast to that being a boundary and something that you're saying needs to be respected, regardless of the opinions and thoughts of others. So obviously you can be kind and gentle, and you don't have to be like vigilant or belligerent, but you definitely should hold that day with a sense of pride in what the Lord did and his perspective of creating the world and all of those things. So but also like throughout the day, maybe like once or twice a week, whenever you have the time, just set aside time to really reflect on your life and if what you're doing is working. Pretty much. If what you're doing is working, meaning whatever your goal is what you're doing moving closer to that? Is it helping you move closer to that? Do you need to change what you're doing? Maybe challenge yourself, maybe be a little bit easier on yourself. Or, like what is it that you really need to move there to that point? And if you feel like you're not really supported, support yourself in that way. It doesn't always feel like support. It may feel like hurting yourself or, like in pain or neglect. And if you feel that way, ask the Lord to recover you and show you how to be there for yourself, and ask him to be there for you. Ask him. We know he says that. It's not insulting to ask him to be there for us. And it's something that we need. We need to rely on God more than we rely on people, which means action, which means talking to him, and again being vulnerable. What does that look like? Asking him for things that you need, like literally, not being ashamed to ask for those things. Because if you ask the Lord first, hopefully it can prevent you from feeling ashamed and like guilt, like wanting not to ask people for things in our life. Pray, even if it's something that's a struggle, like if you have a problem with substances or maybe watching too much YouTube, maybe eating too much, maybe even exercising too much, ask the Lord to remove the desire that is keeping you in that habit. And that could be in unhealthy relationships, it could be whatever, but the effort that we put into trying to control people, take that away, or just stop and allow that the energy you were giving to build up in you so that you can use it in the right way. That's not reduce, reuse, recycle. It's literally stopping and doing. what's right, turning, turning the trajectory of where you want your life and things to go. And if you have a family, if you have children, just know that you are the example to your child. And yes, it's a sense of responsibility, but you should also enjoy the fact that you can do these things in your child's presence and be vulnerable about that process. And you're gonna have to face yourself a lot. So, have some grace for yourself and make space for yourself. Like, be calm enough to really process what's going on while also being there, feeling it and observing it, if that makes sense. And ask the Lord to be there with you. And everything, ask Him to be there with you is us. Don't feel guilty about not doing certain things, like not praying. You should feel conviction, but conviction and guilt are not the same thing. So don't allow the guilt to prevent you from going further in your relationship with God. It's crazy how much guilt can do that, though. In what ways do you feel guilty in your relationship with your partner, and how does that relate? Do you see patterns or similarities between that and your relationship with God? It's a lot of different ways to think about these things, and it's very interesting to think about how they all connect. And then your childhood, because just sit with that. That was really interesting for me. But I know, it probably is for others as well. Like, why does this affect me? Why does this not affect me? And really trying to understand yourself in every aspect, because you're going to have to. You're going to have to. And it's all for His glory. Don't be stressed. Try not to stress out about it. He didn't give us a spirit of fear. We don't have to be fearful of making mistakes, because that's what stress pretty much comes from, is the pressure and the fear of making mistakes and not making the right choices that we want to make, choices that we feel are right, and also, in a timely manner. So with that, we just have to remind ourselves that everything is in His timing. We do have free will, and we can ask for the understanding to make things happen that the Lord has aligned for our lives. But we can't do more than what He's aligned for us. Where He, not even aligned, but what I mean by aligned is what He already has in His will for us to do in our lifetime. And us being mentally, emotionally, and spiritually connected to that with the Lord. So, I hope that helps someone. That felt good to say.